my name is Sophia Smith, and I am the category specialist for the entertain category.
Hello, I'm Kiara DeLeonibus, and I'm the product and culinary expert for new product development. And today, we're going to be talking about cold brew.
Coffee shops and brands have to keep innovating around coffee to keep consumers interested and coming back. So we also wanted to innovate, and cold brew coffee is the new way to drink coffee. Now Kiara is going to show us how this new cold brew carafe can make and serve coffee in a very stylish way.
Before we get into detail on the features of the cold brew carafe, I want to explain to you what is cold brew coffee. Cold brew coffee is allowing coffee grinds to steep in cool or room temperature water. Now you can steep it on the countertop or in the fridge.
Now, why would I want to do cold brew coffee versus the regular hot brew coffee?
That's a great question, Sophia. One, it's simply preference. Some people like hot coffee versus cold coffee. And then the second, when you drink cold brew coffee, what happens is with the room temperature or cool water, it slowly seeps into the beans, resulting in a smoother, fruitier flavor of the coffee. And the best part of it is that you have low acid in the coffee. The other thing I want to mention about cold brew is that you'll never achieve day-old flavor with cold brew like you would with hot coffee.
Oh, wow.
And what's great about cold brew, it can last up to a week in the fridge.
Now, Kiara, is iced coffee the same as cold brew coffee? Because both are cold coffees.
That's a great question. And the answer is simply no. The reason is because iced coffee is brewed with hot coffee and then it's served over ice. Cold brew coffee is coffee steeped 8 to 12 hours in cool or room temperature and then served over ice.
Now that we learned more about what cold brew coffee is, Kiara, can you please tell us more about coffee beans and general coffee knowledge?
Absolutely. So there's two key points to remember. One is the coffee grind. Two, the type of roast. So for coffee grinds, there are 7 different types of coffee grinds. We go from all the way to coarse, all the way to fine. And second, the roast. Typically, there's 3 types of roast. You have dark, medium, and light. Keep in mind with the roast, it's all about flavor and preference. Depending on the roast you choose, will impact the flavor of your coffee.
Great information about coffee beans, Kiara. I did not realize there was so much to choose from. Can you please demonstrate the product to us?
Absolutely. But before we get started, I want to talk to you about what type of coffee grind we recommend for the carafe. Now, earlier, I talked about 7 different types of grinds, but we recommend extra coarse, coarse, or medium coarse for the carafe. The reason being is that the bigger the grain, the more water will flow through, resulting in a deeper flavor. Now that we've explained what type of coffee grinds to be used in the cold brew carafe, let's get started. Here, you're going to see a beautiful transparent carafe. So it's gorgeous and elegant for serving. We have our cover, which will be inverted as a coaster. We have our metal filter insert for steeping your coffee. And when you go to discard your coffee, you can actually place it on the coaster when you go to your trash can or your compost. And here we have our carafe. Our filter makes it super simple to make cold brew coffee because we provide markings. So the first marking is for ready to drink coffee. The second marking is for concentrate. And we'll go into detail a little bit on that later. And then the last is our watermark line. No matter which line you choose for your coffee, you always want to fill the water line all the way up to that marking. And on the bottom, you're going to see some drainage holes. What's great about that is that you can allow the coffee to finish steeping out before you discard the coffee grinds. So let's get started. I'm going to place my metal filter inside the carafe. And next, I'm going to go with the coarse coffee as we discussed earlier. And reason why I'm placing the metal filter inside is that it's easier for me to see those lines that I just pointed out. So I'm going to make some concentrate.
Okay.
So concentrate is about 25 to 27 tablespoons. So we're gonna go ahead and fill it up.
Now, Kiara, what's the main difference between concentrate and ready to drink?
That's a great question, Sophia. Ready to drink is just that, ready to drink coffee. You remove your filter, remove your coffee, and you're ready to serve. With concentrate, it's a stronger flavor. So we recommend, depending on your preference, to dilute it. You can dilute it with water, dairy of your choice, or other types of flavors. But one thing I want to mention is that don't dilute it in the carafe. Reason being is that it will store longer if it's just plain concentrate. We recommend that you dilute it by cup. Sophia, how about you do the honors and fill the carafe with water? So as Sophia is filling the carafe with water, a couple of things I want to mention. One, you'll notice it's going to take time for that water to seep through the coffee. So give yourself a couple of minutes here. Don't rush. And two, you can actually start seeing the infuse process. Look at the color of the water. It's pretty awesome. And it's super simple, right?
Yes. How much water do I know I need to fill the carafe?
You're gonna fill about 1 liter of water.
Okay. And once I fill with water, how much coffee do I have?
So depending on if you did concentrate or ready to drink, the results are gonna change just a little. If you did ready to drink, you're almost gonna be yielding about 1 liter. With concentrate, you're yielding about just shy of a liter, about 700 milliliters or 3 cups. Sophia, how easy was that?
That was super easy. I'm impressed.
So now I'm gonna place the cover on and I'm gonna put it in the fridge for 8 to 12 hours.
Here we have both options. We have ready to drink and concentrate. We prepared this in advance because it does take 8 to 12 hours to steep, but we did want to show you the difference. So if you see here, it's lighter and you can kind of see the metal filter through it. But here you can barely see the metal filter because there's more coffee.
So now let's prepare some cold brew coffee.
Yes.
I've allowed the filter to drain and I'm going to use my coaster that we talked about. It's a dual purpose cover. So I'm going to take my filter, sit it on the coaster, and now I'm going to dispose of my coffee grinds. I can either throw them away or, for me, I have a garden at home. So sustainability is really important. I actually use my coffee grinds to compost my garden. I've discarded my coffee grinds and now I'm going to clean my filter. It's really simple. I'm just going to take some running water and I'm going to circulate the filter to make sure all the coffee is removed. I'm going to turn it upside down and just let the water run through. That's simple.
Now that we clean the filter, we want to clean the carafe once we serve all the coffee in it. We recommend not to dishwash because we want to keep the carafe in the clear state and avoid any scratches.
Now that we've covered all we could on the cold brew carafe, Sophia, do you have any questions?
Actually, I do. Because coffee is dark, I'm just wondering if it's going to stain my carafe.
That's a great question. And it's simply no. And the reason being is because we're using cold or room temperature water. And by using that type of temperature water, it won't allow the carafe to stain.
Oh, okay, good to know. So then not hot water at all?
Absolutely no. It is not recommended for hot water.
And also, I have leftover coffee here. What do I do with it?
Oh, I love that one. And that's a great way to do product pairing. So we talked about 1 week recommended shelf life for the cold brew. So after a week, why don't you freeze your coffee? And the best ice cube trays are the freezer-made ice cube trays because that material can withstand coffee.
Thank you, Kiara. That was so helpful. I know that our sales force and our consumers are just gonna love this cold brew carafe because it's gonna spice up their morning routines because it's one carafe, but there's so many options of different recipes that you can do with coffee.
Absolutely. The possibilities are endless. And keep in mind, don't forget to visit the Brand Center. There you'll find high-definition videos, recipes, and so much more. Thank you guys for joining.
Thank you. We'll see you later. Bye.